Yeah, that's a very excited locker room right across the hall. That was a hard win. Obviously, we expected it to be hard to win on the road in the conference. Feels really good to be 1-0. Everything we thought about Louisville before the game turned out to be true. Very dangerous football team. That offense is they create so many problems for you, but I'm so proud of the way that we persevered through. Offense, the two explosive plays in the third quarter. And again, we kind of kept that same thing we had a week ago, where anytime if the other team, tried to make a push, our offense had a great answer. So a lot to fix, but a lot to be proud of. Feels great to be 1-0 in the conference, heading back home for Florida State week.
Hey, Manny, congratulations. Can you talk a little bit about just what the style points of that last 4 hours means for the program in general? I mean, after the last few years, the struggles, you had a national TV audience, really the only game in the country that anybody would watch, a lot of big plays, a lot of excitement. I mean, it had to be in the world.
Yeah, Gary, but I think your point, it was exciting to see, we talked about creating more explosive plays through the passing game, which we're able to do, but we also had some obviously big ones in the running game as well. We could still be so much better. Obviously, the penalties were just drive killers, and a lot of times really just kept us in the way of ourselves. I do think early on, I think the weirdness of the crowd noise probably bothered us more than it should have, and we had some procedural penalties because of that. But like I said, the explosive plays, it was what we wanted to be, and I thought Derek was poised, in control, and made some great throws, made some big time plays.
Yeah, Coach, wanted to ask you again, I think for the second game in a row, the offense responded to adverse situations with points. So whenever Louisville scored, your offense went down and scored themselves. How big is that just for confidence in the offense, and how big is it for the defense? And then if you could also touch on Bubba Bolden. He was all over the field tonight, just his performance.
Yeah, well, I think to the first point, as you mentioned a week ago, I think we're playing good complementary ball, so when the defense does give a score, the offense, the one thing that this team is just through 2 weeks. It's early days, but they're pretty connected. They have each other's back pretty good. And we have really adopted that play the next play mentality. So no matter what happens, we just go back out there and just go right to work. You don't ever sense panic or frustration or anything else. We just go do our thing. And so I think that's been encouraging. Bubba, to your point, Bubba was very active. It's a game where your safeties have to play great. Every play they are the closest thing to playing, Georgia Tech when they're running the option. Every play there's a motion adjustment. They do a great job, obviously, with their zone blocking schemes, and you got to make some big tackles, not to mention cover, the most explosive wide receiver in the ACC at times. So it was great. It was great to have Bubba play so well.
Hey, Coach Diaz, congrats on the win tonight. Two things. One, your kicker, 12 points, 57-yarder, to have that range, just the way that changes the whole dynamic of this team. And then secondly, 3 of those touchdowns, you had Hurricanes running by themselves. Just wide open in the middle of the field. Can you talk to Rhett's play calling and just, the difference that you have with that?
Yeah, number one, obviously, Jose had such confidence to our football team. And there was a little bit of a wind going that direction. And, that's a situation that a year ago we're punting, or most people are punting, or you're going for it. So they have a guy that can be good from that range, and it seemed like I don't even know if the ball's landed yet. It seemed like it had that much leg on it, and that really helps us because those points really mattered, as it turns out at the end with some of those onside kicks. The explosive plays, some of those things I thought Rhett and the entire offensive staff did a great job of developing them through the course of the week. It's still hard sometimes in game 2 of a season. You don't really know if you're going to get the look you really want. But as it turned out, we did, and we were able to really get him on some difficult things. And some of those things are predicated on, again, Derek's running ability. So it was, again, when you can create explosive plays and score without having to drive the ball down, 10, 12 plays, it makes life a lot easier.
Hey, Manny, I wanted to get your thoughts on being able to force turnovers in this game. Obviously huge, and anytime you can force turnover, I know that's your big calling card there. And then with the new turnover chain, your thoughts on what you wanted to do with it this year.
Yeah, it was great to finally get one. Felt like we waited a while, and then once we got one, then here they came, and that's really what you want to have happen. We still have really missed a couple more, that we really have to get. We just got to keep doing ball drills and those type things. But great to see, and also a lot of credit. We've now played 120 minutes of offensive football and not turned the ball over as well. So that's huge, and that's a big part of winning football. The theme of the chain this year, it is kind of state of Miami, type deal. I don't know if you can tell, but the three counties are colored in orange and green. It's kind of a cool look and kind of pays homage to back Coach Snellenberger when he got this whole thing going, by declaring the state of Miami.
Hey, Manny, I guess just sort of following up on that, just kind of your thoughts overall on the defense's performance. Obviously, the takeaways I'm sure you're happy with, but 500 yards allowed. And I know, Tutu's probably about as good a wide receiver as you guys are going to face all year, but you guys have had some trouble with those, like, smaller, shiftier slot type guys. Just how do you feel about your ability to cover guys like that? Just big picture.
Well, what they present such problems is why I go back to almost the triple option type mentality that they have. They present such problems in their motions and condensed formations that you don't really get to cover the guys the way you normally would. Look, the pass issues are one thing, but going in all along, it was really the run game. Now they attempted 50 rushing attempts to get the yards, but I still thought watching the film, we got to take a really close look at some of those runs that were hitting us. It sure felt like they were getting the edge on us with some help of grabbing some jerseys, stuff like that. I don't know. We have to look at that. I don't think they had holding called once on a running play tonight, but so one sort of goes in hand with the other. I do think we did a good job on third down, possession downs. They were able to get a couple fourth and shorts converted, and then even making them kick those 2 field goals early in the first half. When they had 6 points for a long time. That's they are what they are. They're one of the best offenses in our league, and and the quarterback has really improved. So they were a handful. And then again, we just have to finish a fourth quarter better also. A lot of those yards came at the end, and to their credit, they kept playing hard, which we figured they would.
Yeah, congrats on the win, Manny. I know you just talked about the chain a little bit, but obviously there's been a lot of changes with college football this fall, and the sideline feels and looks a little different. Is there a sense of normalcy that comes out when the chain comes back out?
Yeah, other than we had to put a mask on the chain recipient. So that's a little unusual, but it is, and again, to our guys' credit, they have done everything right, that, all the protocols that our administration has put in place for them, and to keep them safe. And, we've talked about this relationship of the program is designed to protect the players, and the players have to be designed to protect the program. And I think we've had a great relationship with that really since June, so that this is our night to enjoy. That locker room and just seeing the pure excitement, that's not even this work of preparation. On a normal year, you talk about practice and weightlifting sessions and running, that's just getting here, giving our players, earning the right to have the opportunity to play a game, which, by the way, we have to completely earn again a week from now, because we don't take any weekend for granted that we have a chance to play this game this year.
Hey, Manny, how are you? Congratulations. I'm doing something from the big picture, Manny, tonight on you, Rhett, and De'Aaron. At different points in all of your 3 careers, you were rising guys, guys really, that were on the cusp in college football, and then all took detours for different ways. Rhett's went through Connecticut, obviously, and I don't have to remind you about yours. I'm just wondering how you think that shapes the personality of a coach, personality of a player, when you're in the spotlight and there and have it taken away and have to kind of earn it back.
Yeah, and I think there's something definitely to that. I think you really have to figure out who you are, and when you've had when you have a chance to, whether Derek and picking a new school to transfer to, or, and I don't want to speak for Rhett, but when you're picking a job to take, or for myself, I think as you go on, I think you really look for the right situation. And I think more than anything, you really want to be surrounded by like-minded people. I think we realize the longer we do this, that's really how you win. If you get the more like-minded people who kind of are wired the same way that you're wired, normally good things happen. Derek had a chance to look at 2 different cultures when he was at U of H. He was really recruited by one head coach, then had another head coach, and then another head coach, and so he's seen some things. And again, he had outstanding options of where he could have gone and played football this year. It meant a lot to us. that he chose Miami and chose to work with Coach Lashley.
Hey, Manny, congratulations. You did, today did great in front of the whole country. Prime time again next week, FSU coming up, ABC again, College Game Day is going to be there, they announced. How nice is that for the players? That hasn't always happened in those situations in the last few years, to shine in that kind of arena and stuff.
Well, what we know is that it's a new year. What we've told our players, it shows you how quickly things change, and things can change quickly in both directions. We were a team that no one was talking about 2 weeks ago, and if we don't do right, no one will be talking about us 2 weeks from now. It just goes that fast in college football. All we've done is go 1-0 in our conference, and we're 2-0 overall. I don't think again, I think our players appreciate the difficulty of coming to Louisville and winning, but they know there's a lot more meat on the bone, and to have game day, be here, hey, it's Miami, Florida State. It doesn't matter what the records are. We always know that's a huge weekend, and our players understand what's on the line when Florida State comes to town.
Coach Diaz, thanks for spending a few minutes with us, and have a safe flight back. Congratulations on the win.
You got it. Thanks.